Malfoy's shadows soared around the chamber and Candace did her best to hide behind her wing. After a long moment, Malfoy released his grip on Elpha's mind. The wolf looked up and Candace gasped in terror. Scrunch's eyes were jet black and black markings had been etched into fur around his face. A soft groan caught the Ice Guardian's attention. She glanced over to see Flame and Ember coming too. Flame tried to move, but the apes held him fast. Realizing where he was, the Fire Guardian began to struggle against her hold. "Get off, you bastards!" he shouted, his voice quickly bringing Ember out of unconsciousness. "Flame!" She bellowed up to fire the apes to hound down, but her captors clapped their claws around her mouth, preventing her from causing any more fires. Leon looked over at him and gave a big grin. "Well, what do you say, pack leader? Why don't you try your new gift out on our guests?" Scrunch turned his hand locked his deathly stare on Candace. The eyes dragging his hair felt her blood turn to water. The elf lumbered over to the cage and tore it open, breaking the metal bars like they were nothing more than sticks. Candace fell to the floor and instantly felt the pain surge back to her arm. Scrunch snatched her up in his grasp and held her by the throat. An evil grin spread across his muzzle, and his yellow teeth glistened with eager anticipation. Suddenly, Candace felt a turning sensation in her throat. The shadows of Scrunch's dark aura were flowing from his hand and spiraling around her. Candace gritted her teeth against the burning pain, but it didn't last long. The shadows forced their way into her mouth, and the Ice Guardian let out a scream as the darkness began to fill her insides. The noise hurt Flame and Ember's ears. They cringed from the sure noise and struggled to free themselves from the grasp of the apes that held them. "Flame, help her!" Ember pleaded when she managed to shake off one hand and held her mouth closed. She struggled against the pressing force, but found herself to be too weak to break free of her restrainers. "I'm trying!" Flame shouted, struggling as hard as he could. He could feel the burning hatred deep inside him. Hatred towards Leon, Malfoy, Scrunch, and the wolves. They had caused him so much pain and suffering. They had taken his grandfather's life in front of his very eyes, and now were using it to have their way with the world. "You're gonna suffer for this!" Flame glared at Leon as his tearing body temperature rose. "I'm going to kill you myself!" Leon glanced at the Fire Guardian as Flame let out an agonized roar. A teeth-crimson aura exploded from his body and obliterated the apes holding him down. Leon shut his eyes with his wing from the bright, hot energy. He looked back at Flame, who had his teeth bared and wings spread wide in open challenge. Glowing flame-like markings tattooed his hide, and his eyes burned with the same red energy. "Well, this is interesting," the Dark Dragon snickered. "Come at me if you dare." "Gladly!" Flame bellowed and lunged for Leon. The Black Dragon only laughed and struck Flame in the chest, sending him crashing into the wall, leaving a deep impact crater in the dense marble. Ember let out a horrified scream as her mate's battered body fell to the ground in a bloody heap. Flame caught on his own blood and stared up at Leon as he walked over to him. How are you able to see you coming?" "It's easy." Leon muttered, brought his mouth down inside Flame's head. "I can feel the darkest hate in your heart. Your movements and intentions are readable like an open book, Flame. Thus, every move you make is like a telegraph hand signal." "Damn you!" Flame groaned before coughing hard, spatting the floor with his blood and passing out. "No!" Ember screamed, thrashing even harder with energy she didn't know she had. Scrunch dropped Candace and dragged his leg convulsed on the floor. Leon smiled as the last wisp of dark matter disappeared inside her open mouth before turning his maniacal eyes on Ember. "And then there was one, my dear." Spyro soon descended the mountains beyond the boundaries of Orfang. The only sound was the wind blowing and rocks falling below their feet. Even Sparks was unusually quiet. When they reached the ground, they stopped to rest and gather their energy. The others wouldn't arrive until much later that day at the earliest. After a long night of disturbed sleep, the three of them woke to a dull mist resting over the land. Spyro yawned and stood up before closing his eyes again. "Do you sense anything?" Cinder asked as she rubbed the sleep from her eyes. "Yeah," Spyro nodded. "They're here." "Well, that's just great." Sparks rolled his eyes. "Took 'em long enough." The sounds of footsteps reached their ears. The silhouettes of tall, lean figures could be seen drawing closer. On instinct, Cinder and Sparks tensed their muscles. Then, slowly, the warriors of the cheetah tribe emerged from the mist. "Hunter!" Cinder exclaimed, and ran over to meet the scout as soon as she saw him. She glanced out to see Chief Prowler staring down at her. Much to her surprise, he smiled and nodded respectfully. "It's good to see you all made it," Sarah chirped, walking up from the rear. She was fully healed now, and walking was no longer an issue for her. "Not everyone," Cinder replied darkly. The others turned to see him stand at the edge of the forest, the moles and mammoth moles rushing to greet the Avalarians and remaining guardians. The other guardian looked like a dragon at the end of his limit, and Sarah couldn't help but walk over and nuzzle him affectionately on her chin the way she had seen Candace do so many times before. The green dragons growled slightly, Not as a way to show away, but to show his appreciation for the gesture. It's going to be okay, said Whisper in his ear. It's not over until we say it is. You got that right, Jimmy growled. I'm going to get my dragoness back, even if it kills me. Sam looked at him with a worried stare. Jimmy only smiled at her. What can I say? I like my candy. Said Keiko softly, but she couldn't help but ponder Drum's words. Is everyone here? Spyro asked after everyone had gotten a chance to rest. As well as we can be, she proudly sighed. It's a damn shame we left when we did. Perhaps if we could stay behind, we may have been able to help you defend your city better. You shouldn't blame yourself, Cinder comforted. You were looking after your people, like any good leader should. The chieftain's eyes drooped. But we are also your allies. We should have waited for your return. Cinder's right, Jim agreed, taking a step forward. You had no idea things would be this way, and neither did we. But that's the past. Right now we have to think of taking our city back. Agreed, Sprout nodded. We have a tough battle ahead of us, more so than any of us have ever faced before. The Dark Master has returned to power, and he feels stronger than ever. But regardless of that, we've always pulled through before. We face his armies, the golems of the deep, the destroyer who brought about the end of the world. Sprout sent a shared private glance. And even after we faced Malfoy himself and brought him to his knees, we all survived what we thought would be the end. I'm sorry to say we have to face a possible end again, but I know that we're going to make it through. It's our duty as guardians to protect this world and those who live in it, John resighed as his mentors had time before. But we can't do it alone, Sinner added before looking around the clouds of warriors before them. We have you all as our allies, our brothers in arms, and most importantly our friends. We've shared good times and bad, and I hope that after today we could continue to have good times together in an age of peace. You've all helped us to protect this world, no matter how seemingly little the test has been, Sprout continued. I want you all to remember what you were fighting for then, think of it now. We need to keep our strength in our hearts and souls. Our guardians may be gone, but we are the birth of new age, an age of heroes. We are legends in our own time, and we have to continue to fight on for future generations so that they may enjoy what we are fighting to protect. What are we fighting for? Drum bell over the pro-dragon speech. Peace, freedom, happiness, the true Chinese. Today we fight for our ancestors, said another cheer went up. Spyro smiled thankfully. Today we end the Dark Master's reign of terror. The guys soared over the hills towards the Dragon City. Down below, the chiefs slipped rapidly through the dense forest, with the men were small tunneled below the ground with the mole troops close behind. High up in the city towers, Leon stood patiently and saw the guardians in the distance. He turned at the three finger shots behind him. Get into position, he ordered. They bowed and disappeared from sight. The dark dragon smiled as he watched Spyro and others draw close to the city walls. So it begins. He raised his head back and let out a thunderous roar, shooting dark light into the sky. Looks like he's expecting us, said Mother darkly. Surprise, surprise there, Sparks grumbled as he fluttered to keep up with his brother and Cinder. Jim's brow furrowed into a serious scowl. Hang on, Candace, he whispered in his mind. I'm coming for you.